We're going to discuss the top countries related to the hydrocarbons from crude oil, natural gas liquids, and condensate. Look around the room. Most things you see were derived from crude oil, being run through an oil refinery, and then a petrochemical steam cracker to help make the product you're looking at. The top 5 crude oil producers are the United States with 13 million barrels per day, Russia and Saudi Arabia near 10 million, with Canada and Iran near 5 million barrels per day. The top 5 consumers are the United States at 20 million barrels per day, mainly for transport fuels, refined products, and petrochemicals. China at 15 million. India consumes 5 million. Japan and Saudi Arabia at 3 million barrels per day. Next, we'll talk about dry natural gas, which is mostly the hydrocarbon chain C1, or methane. The benefit of large gas basins is they power electricity, industry, and heating. Dry natural gas mostly travels via pipeline, as methane is challenging to liquefy for transport overseas. However, liquefying natural gas is possible and can transport 600 times more energy in the same space when liquefied versus in its gas form. Its global leverage is extremely important for energy-intensive industries such as artificial intelligence, where the demand for electricity is strong. Here are the top 5 producers of natural gas measured in billion cubic meters. The United States leads with 1,030, followed by Russia at 630. Iran and China produced around 250, and Canada almost 200. Turning to consumption, the United States consumes around 950 billion cubic meters, primarily for power generation, industrial heat, chemical feedstock, residential heating, and liquefied natural gas exports. Russia consumes approximately 500. China uses 350. Iran consumes 250. Japan, importing liquefied natural gas, uses around 120. Now let's talk natural gas liquids, including ethane, propane, butane, and pentane are essential petrochemical feedstocks and gasoline blending components. They are also essential for ethylene and propylene plastics production. An interesting fact, LPG, a mixture of propane and butane, is easier to liquefy than natural gas, methane. This makes LPG easier to transport overseas and useful heating fuel in cooler months. 270 times more energy can be transported in the same amount of space when converted from gas to a liquid. Top 5 producers: United States, 7.5, Saudi Arabia and Russia near 1.5, China, 1, Iran, Canada, and UAE, all at 0.9. Now for the top 5 consumers. The United States at 4 primarily uses petrochemical feedstock for plastics and propane for heating. China at 3, India at 1, Japan at 0.65, and South Korea at 0.5. Now let's talk about condensate, which includes pentane, hexane, heptane, and octane. Condensate is a light, high-value stream used for blending in fuels and petrochemicals. Its small global pool means it has an outsized impact. An interesting fact, condensate primarily comes from heavy natural gas-producing regions instead of crude oil production. Top 5 producers: United States 2, Iran 0.8, Qatar and UAE 0.7, Algeria 0.45. Top 5 condensate consumers: the United States 1.74, mostly for petrochemicals and gasoline blending, South Korea 0.6, Japan and China near 0.5, Canada 0.46, mostly used as a heavy crude oil diluent that Canada purchases from the US to allow the thick Canadian crude oil to flow via pipeline. Data shows the United States is the most flexible energy power, leading in crude, dry gas, natural gas liquids, and condensate. That multi-stream position lets the U.S. manage crude oil needs within North America, leverage domestic dry gas advantages for growing power needs, and utilize and export natural gas liquids such as LPG and condensate to keep petrochemicals and refining running. Major producers such as Russia, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Canada, Iran, each hold specific levers for swing players in the global market. Importers with big supply versus demand gaps include China, along with the entire European Union, Japan, and India. These importing countries remain exposed to logistical choke points such as the Strait of Hormuz and Malacca, the Suez and Panama Canal. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed your time learning about oil and gas hydrocarbons. Thanks for listening.